Ladies and gentlemen, your man in Japan, Jay Contra here, and I recently picked up Pokemon Heart Gold at one of my favorite shops in Akihabara, Trader, and I thought while I open it, I can explain what's on the label, different things to look out for when you are purchasing retro games in Japan and at Trader specifically. Now, Trader's a really good shop because you can find games there at very cheap prices, and you'll notice the label is on the plastic, not on the game itself. Yeah, actually, why don't I run through the labels before we open up the package? So you can see here, I picked this up for 4,680 yen. I apologize if there's any focusing issues. Maybe it's the light situation, I'm not sure. Now, something also to be careful about is a lot of prices now in Japan do not include tax. Sometimes they will, and if you can recognize kanji, I don't know if that's going to be in focus or not, but this label says that the tax is paid separately. Sales tax was recently raised to 10% in Japan, so the base price of this game is going to be 4,680 yen plus 468 yen. So it's going to end up being about 5,000 yen. That's what, $45 according to the current exchange rate. You know, that's always going to be variable. Of course, if you are visiting Japan and you have a visitor's visa or you're coming in visa free, you will be able to do tax-free shopping. At Trader, I think they do tax-free. I'm not 100% sure because I've never actually been a visitor to Japan, so I've never bought anything tax-free. But I know Mandarake will do tax-free. I know a lot of shops in Akihabara will, but it's going to depend on the shop. Their hours are going to vary. It just all depends. So looking at the label here, hopefully you can see this. We're going to run through this. This is the same label that they put all of their games. So they have a couple of different things that aren't actually applicable to Heart Gold being a Nintendo DS game. So you see here, this is the status of the disc. If this was like a PlayStation game, Sega Saturn, anything that is a disc, they would grade the disc either an A or a B. Obviously, this is a DS game, so there is no disc. Next, we've got, let's see, so on the left here, we've got the Futsuban. This means, is it the regular edition? Is it a collector's edition? Because over here we have the, what is this, like Shokaiban? This would be the first edition of a game. Here we've got the Genteiban. This is the limited edition. So obviously there are games, like Assassin's Creed or Modern Warfare. Lots of modern games come out with a regular version and a collector's edition. While this is, to me personally, a special edition because it comes with the Pokéwalker, this is not a truly special edition, so it doesn't tick any of those boxes. Next we go down here, and this means, on the far left here, I actually don't know what that middle kanji is, but overall what this is what does it include? Does it here, as this version does, it includes everything. So this box ticked here means that it has all of the items that it originally came with. Over here in the middle, it means that it has some things that aren't in the box. It might not have a manual, it might not have, I don't know if they would count registration cards, I'm not sure, or there were certain postcards produced in older Japanese games that you could mail in to video game companies with like a survey on it, something like that. This is not missing anything, and then over here on the right, this would be relevant if it was a disc-based game, because most, if not all, CDs, both music and games, came with what's called an obi, which would be a spine cover for the case. Now that's usually actually outside of the case, it's not something you would put inside the case. I've never actually seen a game sold without it, although of course if you're buying used games you're not going to find those all the time, and that can actually really increase the value. I've seen games with obies and without obies. With an obi it might be $400, without an obi it might be $350, so you're talking about a $50 piece of paper sometimes. But again, it's a DS game, so it's not relevant here. And then what we have here on the bottom left, this is all of the relevant information that whoever took this game in and reviewed it, you can see they actually put their seal. This is almost like a signature here in Japan. They put it here on the game saying, I certify that this game has all the stuff that I've written down here. It's in a certain condition. So let's read it and see what they put down. And then we'll compare this. What's going to be really key when you're buying a video game in Japan, a used video game, is you want to compare what Japan thinks of as a scratch, some damage, what might they consider like a folded or a, what would you say, like a crease in a manual. What do they consider is really bad and noticeable versus like what I would see as an American who's used to GameStop and the terrible games that they get in there. So let's see, I hope it focuses here. So we're gonna just go down the list. You can see here it has the, what would you call this? The jacket for the software. Okay, I don't know what that's exactly gonna be. I don't know if that means the paper insert for, that goes around the plastic DS case, you know, like the paper that has the cover printing on it. I'm not sure. Then it's got the case. Okay, so that's probably going to be the actual plastic case itself. Remember, this is inside here. We'll get the regular DS case plus the Pokéwalker, and then it says there's also some damage to the box. So it lists the jacket, the game case, and the box. And then if you see, all of them here are under the category of Ikami, which means sort of like damage. So we'll see what exactly they mean by damage on closer inspection. And then, this is actually really good because so it's got here the Pokéwalker. So it has the Pokéwalker, but the Pokéwalker has scratches, or kizu, as it's written over here on the right. So just taking an initial look at it, the reason I bought this was because I found it to be in very good condition. You don't really find, first of all, it's almost impossible for me. I was looking for like 3 years to find Pokemon Heart Gold or Soul Silver, specifically Heart Gold because I have Soul Silver in English. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. We're going to see what exactly the reviewer who took in this game, what exactly they meant by having damage to the box, damage to the case. Let's see what they meant. Heart Gold is actually very special to me. Really, well, not really Heart Gold specifically, but the remakes of Gold and Silver. Remember, they came out on the Game Boy. I probably should have brought some scissors or something. The remakes for the DS, man, I remember buying this in college. And if you want to feel old, folks, this came out 10 years ago. The remakes of 20-year-old games are now themselves 10 years old. I'm glad I actually kept my 3DS. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh no. Ugh. Alright, I might have to edit this part out because... oh, Jesus. I always found... hold on, let's see. Man, they seal these things real good. I felt that Gold and Silver were my favorite Pokemon games, although I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver are probably my favorite Pokemon games that have ever been released, just because it has everything. Come on, yeah, they really seal this up good. I'm hoping I'm not doing any extra damage and ruining the validity of this exploration. Let's open this bad boy up. Come on, come on, gotta get up. The plastic stuck to my pinky. Alright, so there we go. Oh shoot, I actually thought this was on the outside. Never mind. Oh boy. Okay, sorry, getting the plastic off of my pinky. Okay, so but nothing to worry about. Now I know I personally get very upset whenever there are stickers on the very valuable box or case or whatever. However, in my experience, Japanese shops are very good about when they have something adhesive to the case itself, it'll come off no problem. We'll keep it on for now. I'll take it off later. Maybe just to prove my point, but for right now I want to use it as a reference. So let's see, the box is said to have damage. So where is the damage going to be on this box? Because at first glance, okay, you know, you can see the corners have a little bit of whitening because this box probably got moved around a little bit. I can notice the real problem with this box. Although personally, it's not really a problem. Yeah, you can kind of see the corners here. There's some wear there. You know, someone had this on their shelf. They probably put it in a bag a couple times in order to even get it to the shop. There's some wear here. Look, it's a 10-year-old game. Give it a break. So what I think the real problem with this game is you can see on the spine. I hope you can see it in the light. Let me see if I can emphasize it with my lamp here. So if you look here, that's the wear I think that got the biggest ding for this game. And that's because this is how you actually open the game. And that's how you can tell, really, for a lot of these games, because a lot of these box games, especially Super Nintendo, N64, in Japan, they didn't come sealed when, excuse me, when they were first released. So honestly, the only way you can tell if a game is actually used or not is once this is opened. It actually, because normally when this first would have come out, this would have all been black. But the second you actually open it past a certain point, once you open that flap, the paint starts chipping off, or the ink or whatever. For some reason, I don't know, science, magic reasons. Okay, so now we're opening up the game. So that's, I think, what the damage is. You can see this has been opened more than a few times, but that's fine. You know, I'm not looking to grade this. So let's see what's inside. I'd be very fascinated to see what inserts came with the Japanese version of the game. Okay, and then keep this over here, use that as reference. So we're let's look at the Pokéwalker first. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, no, wait, never mind. I thought something was wrong. Okay, so it's got the insert for the Pokéwalker. Looks to be in good shape, not that I'm super concerned. Let's look at the Pokéwalker itself. They actually kept, what I love about buying Japanese retro games is they very often contain, usually people kept really good care of these things. They've still got the plastic baggies for everything. That's more often than not been the case when I buy these games. Now let's see, what do they consider to be scratches on the Pokéwalker? A little bit. I don't know, maybe you can tell. I feel like I've probably scratched it more just opening it than actually whatever was done to this. You know, I feel like this is in fantastic condition. This is probably in as good condition as I have personally when I, first bought the game, and then I just didn't use the Pokéwalker, so I kept it in the box. So they say it's got scratches. They say they've written and they've taken their time to actually write out that this has scratches on the label to sort of, I don't know, to dissuade you from buying this or what, but I actually think this Pokéwalker is in really good condition. Not that I'm going to use it. And then here's if you wanted to attach it to your belt. Oh, hold on. Oh, I think you would take the screw out. Okay, yeah, I completely forgot about that. Okay, so let's put the Pokéwalker aside, put it back in its little baggie. There, thank you very much. Move this to the side. All right, so now we're going to look at the jacket and the case for this game and see if you feel like it's damaged or not. I've got a feeling that I'm going to be pretty okay with this. All right, there's something, maybe I need a wipe. There's a little thing on here. I don't know what happened to that. So the jacket, I wonder what they mean by the jacket, because when you look at the paper insert, actually, I hope the glare isn't too bad on this. Of course, it is hard gold, so you're going to get a little bit of a shine off of this. I think the paper insert is in really good condition. I am actually surprised that one of the big things that's really happened to a lot of the games in my collection is because of the humidity in this country. Maybe it's because I lived in the south of Japan for so long, but I have a lot of inserts, these covered pages. They absorb all the moisture from if it just rains once, your games are ruined because this will get a wavy pattern. It's happened to all my books, all my comic books. It's just a fact of life about living in Japan where you can't really climate control your apartment. Actually, sorry, this might look a little bit weird, but I'm going to try and reduce. I need to bring down the light a little bit. There we go, because it's just so shiny. I didn't anticipate how shiny this game would be. But looking at it, the case looks in perfectly fine condition. Oh, you can see. Okay. All right. There, you can see a little bit of wear on the bottom here, and I don't know why that would have been, but it's because probably someone loved this game. They played it. Actually, obviously, because I haven't opened it, I don't know if the save data is still on here. I'd love to see if there's any cool Pokemon that this person left over. But the case overall, okay, this is really the only problem I have with it. There's some scratches somewhere. This got moved around a little bit. Whatever, who cares? Now let's take a look at the inside, because they didn't write there. I don't think they wrote there was any problem with the manual. No, just the case and the jacket. So the manual, oh, look at this manual. Oh, that is fantastic. Oh, look at that. In great condition. Might as well be, well, okay, you can see just a little bit of wear there, but this is fine. This is great. Look at that. Oh man, I love this. I love old manuals. I don't read them. That's the problem. That's what's happened, is that I love them. I love having them. I just don't read them as in-depth as perhaps I should. So the manual, sure, I'd give this probably a low A, simply because the only problem is that you can see some nicks down here on the bottom. But this is in great condition. Let's see. Oh, here's this. Oh, the Wi-Fi insert. I don't see the Club Nintendo insert. Not that it's really relevant now that Club Nintendo essentially doesn't exist anymore, but all cool to have all the same. Now let's look. This is going to be the big one, and they didn't write anything about the actual cartridge itself, although I can see some scratches. So you can see a couple of scratches, obviously, because they're putting this inside the DS. It's gonna get scratched just because you're gonna be handling it. You're gonna be putting it into the console itself. So things are gonna happen to this. But overall, very impressed with the quality of this. Ooh, that's interesting. There's a little red streak. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try and. There's a little red streak, and I wonder if that would be because they had a red DS or not. I don't mind it. I don't really care. I bought this because I want to play Heart Gold. But yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase. $45 for Heart Gold I think is a great price, and to get it in this condition, I think I was very lucky to find it, because remember, Pokemon is a game meant for kids, so very often you're not going to find it in great shape, considering that, you know, especially when I was 7 or 8 years old, I didn't really care about keeping my games in pristine condition, although I'm certain some people are out there and they're probably sitting on some collectibles that are worth a lot of money. So I am the fool. But overall, so this is Heart Gold that I purchased from Trader, from their main store in Akihabara. I hope that my label reading was informative for you if you're buying games either on eBay or if you're coming to Japan itself. Again, let's look over quality of the disc. Is it a regular edition? Is it a limited edition? Sorry, is it a first edition, limited edition? Does it include everything? Are there some things missing? Is it missing a spine cover? Only would be relevant if it was a disc. Or I guess, you know, if it was in a CD jewel case, that's what I should say. Obviously, because DVDs did not have this, so PlayStation 2 games, Xbox 360 games are not going to have Obi. However, the CD jewel case-based games, so PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, even what am I thinking? PC Engine CD games will also have Obis if they're going to be considered complete. But again, if you want to save money and you don't care about having the spine cover, for rare games you can save $50 plus sometimes, depending on the grade of the Obi. So it had damage to the jacket. I'm going to assume the jacket is the printed cover for this. I didn't see any problems with it except for the very bottom that you might be able to see there. Then we had the case. I actually, you know, with the case itself, I don't see any problems with the case. Yeah, I didn't see any problems with the case itself. And then there was also some damage to the box, but again, that's going to be inevitable if you even open a game. If you don't open it, the only way I could see you avoiding having damage to the box of a game like this is if you don't even open it. And then the Pokéwalker had scratches on it. It had a little bit. It wasn't like the scratches obscured the view of the LCD, or, you know, whatever the display is. So great condition. They write them down. I don't even know why, but again, from a Japanese perspective, because there were so many games printed in Japan and because people actually took care of their games even in the past, that means that there's a bigger market. It's harder to it's much easier to find a perfect game. We will pay a lot of money for it, but that means that there's going to be a much larger range of high quality games, much like this copy of Pokemon Heart Gold. So I have rambled for very nearly 19 minutes now. I'm going to call it here. If I pick up some other games from Trader, I would actually like to start showing the games that I pick up, very specifically getting granular with everything, showing the labels. If you have any questions about these games, just leave me a comment. I'm doing some more Q&As. Let me know what you want to know about games in condition, how to read labels. That's it for me. I've been your man in Japan, Jay Contra, saying thanks for watching, see you next time, and mahalo.